Yeah, I'm top tier. Tatiana don't live here. Big shit, I've been there. Dripping in shit you can't wear. Little body living big shit. Money got me looking big, big. Niggas keep telling me to pick flip. I just need my class just to keep my mind clear.
Okay.
No nigga don't play for my tape for nights and take care. He go through the test for pussy. When in the crash in the
Damn. Which one of y'all top tier? What's that? Oh, what the? Wait, can the guy say he top tier?
Oh, can God say it's top 10? Oh, we're some quality. Quality.
Top tier.
I like to think I'm quality. I like to think I'm quality. I'm not going
Quality over quantity.
Kings over here, right?
Oh man, look! Shout out to Young Shotty, man. That's top tier. You know, I was asking the ladies before we started, like, you know, can guys say they top tier? You know, what do y'all? You know, can we say we top
I
tier?
think we should.
I don't see why not. Top tier.
Alright, is he- but-
Quality, so
Facts.
high quality, top tier, right?
Definitely, absolutely.
Certified. But nah, what's good, y'all? What's up, man? This is Hidden Keys Podcast. Y'all rocking with? Hey.
All right, y'all. I'm Shan. I'm from Hackensack, New Jersey, and I like to make art. I'm a creative, honestly. Like, I'm just here. I'm in tune, and I'm all about the intellectuals.
Hey guys, I'm Chanel from Cherry Hill, New Jersey, and I like to blog.
Hey y'all, I'm Tiana. I like to dance. I like to write. I like to just discover. So you know.
What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Khalil, aka Little Creative. Just creative, you feel me? I'm here for a good conversation and creativity, so, but
Everybody want to be humble, but you know what I'm saying? Like, but it's your boy Juan. They call me sometime Juan Decimo. You feel me? But I say I'm like the jack of all trades. Y'all think, you know what I'm saying? I say that. I do a little bit of something. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, one on, one out. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, though. But today, we're going to talk about something that's, I believe that can be unethical. You know, sometimes can be biased, but double standards. Now, I know men and women, we have these debate about this double standards, but, you know, I think it's based off if your father and your mother, the way they raise you or treat you when you grow up, you know, I think that matters. Don't y'all think? Absolutely, right? Like, so, you know, I want to start with the ladies. We're going to chat.
Facts.
We're going to chat. He's going to have a lot to say. Just
Wow.
know, yeah.
Nah.
Just know.
I'm gonna let the ladies go first because that's proper. You feel me? The gentleman thing to do. Look at it. I'm not gonna say much.
Listen, man, yeah. This man right here, he got something for y'all, man. But so Shannon, man, what you think?
Well, the topic is double standards. This is a double standard series.
Yes.
But we are going to focus this episode on how daughters and sons are raised from the father's perspective versus the mother's perspective. Like, do you think, for instance, I can only speak on my own experience. I was born in a single parent household with moms, okay? So I can't speak on how your pops raised you, but I know that my mom, she did what she could because she was hustling. So it's like, at the end of the day, your mom is, I feel like your mom definitely do something. She definitely do something for you. Like, that's the person who's supposed to teach you how to be a person, like how to be a decent person in this world. Because we know that this world is not the easiest, especially as a girl, like growing up as a woman in America, a black woman in America, any woman in America it's different. We've been hearing about all the news going on lately, and I personally, I'm a little scared to go outside sometimes. I had to just ask my cousin to go buy me a pocket knife. Like, I don't know. Just because.
She said I keep that.
Listen,
Wow,
because you
okay.
can't.
Hey, man.
I'm telling you, when y'all are outside, do you feel safe walking?
We don't have the same.
But then again, we don't. Yeah, I don't think we deal with the same challenges. You know what I'm saying?
Facts, and that's fair.
You know, that's
I'm
fair.
not
I'm
disagreeing with
saying,
that.
not disagreeing, but like, do it. Time out though.
Yeah,
A man do got to worry about his back though. And
Absolutely.
sometimes walking, you know what I'm saying? Like at night, you feel me? You can't expect that everybody's going.
I'm dark skinned.
Right. Oh.
What does that have to do with it?
What? Next. We'll get to that.
On
Another episode.
and another news, you know what I'm saying?
I definitely agree with Shan saying that it's kind of ridiculous being a woman in America, being a black woman in America, because you're deemed unacceptable for society from the time you were born to the time you were dead.
Yeah.
Sorry,
People tell you you can't do certain things. Like, you gotta worry about, oh, if I say something, will I look as though I'm so mean, right?
Yeah, I got you. That's
You
real
have
talk.
marketing
That's real
bitter.
talk,
Are you
though.
You're mean if you
Yeah.
don't say
Aggressive,
something.
too assertive.
Even if you don't say something, now you have an attitude. But it's
Off the
like
bat, all the time.
off the bat, it's like you can never win, no matter what. You could look like a bum going to the store.
So are you
Someone
saying the
will
way
come
that
up to you.
like your parents raised
Raised you,
you
does
from
that
from a mother's perspective or a father's perspective has an influence on that?
Yes.
Yeah. Growing up, I also grew up in a single mother household. Even though my father was there, he wasn't the one to actually raise me. So when I would see him, what he would say to me is a lot different than what my mother would say to me. Because my dad will always be someone who will like be that top tier person who's overprotective. But as a mother, there's only but so much that you can tell the child as another woman. Because they also went through something.
Right.
Whether it's with other men or just being a woman in society as a whole.
I feel like they can probably, like your mothers, they teach you to be a little bit more cautious.
Right,
Like,
yeah.
I'm taught to be cautious. So,
Even though like we be hard headed, I ain't gonna lie, I'm hard headed, but
real stubborn.
I'm a
shout
Taurus.
out to my dudes got patience.
I'm a Taurus.
I ain't gonna lie, she got patience. I'm a Gemini.
Ooh, God bless. Ooh.
We take this slander, step by step. But,
So,
I do agree though. I think for me, being raised by a single mom, I mean, honestly, you're gonna be hard headed as a male because sometimes you do look more to your male. Oh, my fault, yeah.
hey man.
That's your my fault, man.
Hey, man, you good.
Not the mug, not the mug.
Listen, he's passionate about this situation.
But as I was saying though, you're right. But I was saying though, I just feel like, my mom trying to tell me, I was listening, but like when you don't have that pop there, it's like you listen to somebody that's like you, that's going through the same situations. So I feel like sometimes perspective change because you want it from something else. You hearing it from your mother, but sometimes you want it from somebody that's just saying, you know what I mean? Male figure though. So that's how I look at it.
I can relate to that. I think
Right.
it does something when you're because obviously like being in whatever household that you're in, if it's a single or it's both parents, I feel like if you are also aware of other family systems in your area, like my cousins and stuff, like aunts and uncles, you see they're together, you see that dynamic and you compare it to your own, like
Right.
how they raise their kids versus how you were raised too, because some parents, like father figures, you might have been a little bit more protective, aggressive, but I ain't have that, so I can't sit here and like say that, so I don't know.
Oh, it's a side eye for me, man.
I feel
Because
I mean,
it's like
somebody, right.
it's like I feel like people tend to compare,
Yeah.
but like they never know what's going on in that household. I know, like growing up, I was like, dang, I wish I had a dad.
Mhm.
And my childhood friend, her parents were splitting up, so like that's a different hassle
That's
in
a
itself.
whole-
Was just even having a single parent from the jump, and going from 2 to 1. So like. I don't know about that perspective. As far as me being raised though, my mom was like, be cautious. You don't want to look too fast. You want to make sure you look like a nice girl. And I'm like, why am I being told how to dress when they should be told to just respect how I look?
Right.
It's not like I'm
Yes.
going over there and approaching you. You're
Right,
looking at me
right.
and objectifying me. So why, like, I can't control what you think. That's
It's-
your
Right.
problem. And then we would always get in like disagreements. I'm like, I like how I dress.
Right,
I don't
right.
understand
You
why
know,
I have to be patronized
I've
for how I
had
like to
that.
dress.
Like going
Even
to
when-
parties.
Especially
Going
going
to
to
wearing your own
parties.
She's like, oh,
clothes.
that's what you're wearing? Yes.
Right, like it's hot.
Like, it's summertime and I'm going to a party and I'm supposed to be dripped down in sweats
Yes.
all day, every
all
day.
the time.
No.
That's crazy. I speak on that because I believe like as a son being raised under a mom, I feel like she let me wear athletic clothes and stuff, but I feel like y'all don't do it the same situation because it's might look at like, oh, y'all showing skin, but for guys it's more acceptable.
A shoulder.
It's a shoulder.
You know what I'm saying?
If my
Like,
shoulder's out.
that's
If
true.
I was in a
That's
special
true.
school, I might get told to go home because my shoulder's out. Like,
Yeah.
why are you?
Cause I ain't gonna lie, my mom had me, you feel me, the rock wear, no sleeves. You feel shit, I ain't sure, under, no hair, all that, but
At the
like,
age of like 16,
with shorts, with
16
jean shorts.
to like 21, I didn't wear a shirt at any function. No cap.
But for real, it was
women
cool
can't
though.
do
I
that.
can't do that, right? But then again though, it's just weirdos out there, so I got, you know what I'm saying? It's weird.
I mean, there's female weirdos, like.
Oh, well, I'm glad you speak on that. A lot of people don't even like to talk about that.
I mean-
You know what I'm saying? I'm
Different
different.
episode.
Different
Different episode.
Guys,
Guys, the only weirdos.
We're gonna stay for another episode, bro. But
Another second double standards.
yeah.
You know what's another big thing? When your parents talk about the way your body is.
You can't help how your body is built.
Like,
I used to be like, you were talking about, like, my butt is so big, my hips are so big, but who do you think I get it from?
right.
I didn't know about that. I'm in little skinny bones, skinny boys. My boy Makai know, right? You know what
It
I
don't
mean?
even matter if you're skinny.
I was about 30 all my life, you know what I'm
Right,
saying?
but even my-
like,
Like, remember,
Nah, you feel me?
my
Real
uncle
well.
even said something. He was like, no, I need to buy you some bigger clothes, I said, for what?
Damn. So let me ask you a question. Did that hinder your confidence a little bit? How you
No.
gonna be about yourself?
Not at all, because I knew what my body was at a certain age, because growing up in a predominantly white town, you kind of like feel self-conscious, because I was like, okay, I'm the only person who has this big butt at the age of 12, and no one else had it. And it's like, and then it wasn't until I got to high school where I realized, like, oh, well, this is my body. It's not much I can actually.
So let me ask you a question though. It's just going through them challenges. How did you overcome? With just all the attention that you was getting. How did you overcome it?
Well, I don't really think it's such thing as overcoming it, because you don't. You're always gonna have attention, no matter where you are or what you do. I can be sitting on the train and I can easily get sexually harassed on the train.
That's true.
It doesn't matter what you do.
Yeah. It's crazy you said that. It's crazy you said that because, Shannon, shout out to Shannon for coming through here. She's coming from North Jersey, so we appreciate her presence here too as well. She said, tell me, oh yeah, I'm coming down to the train to get here and all that. But she was like, I gotta be mindful because I'm a girl. And I'm like, that shit's crazy because a lot of times, men, we don't have to say that. We hop on the train, chilling. I mean,
I'm definitely sitting in the corner.
Right. That's what I'm saying though,
Especially, man, what?
So as males though, so do you feel as males though, we still gotta deal with certain challenges when we out 12 at midnight on the train? Ain't gonna be similar as a female, but just
Yes, I definitely do. Different episode. I definitely think we have a lot of same challenges, but different episode.
Okay.
For here, I would like to say, as far as the double standards for men and women when it comes to raising children, I definitely think that first and foremost, it is an inherent bias in our society that men cannot be good caretakers or nurturing. First and foremost, and if I'm wrong for this assumption, I apologize to anybody who may be offended by it, and I apologize for my lack of knowledge. However, if you take a man and a woman in a court case, more times than not, the woman will be in favor of keeping the children. And it will automatically be assumed in the woman's favor because she's a woman. And I'm not saying that I have anything against that. Again, I came from a single parent home. My mom raised the hell out of me and my brothers. I didn't really have my pops. I had father figures. Right. And they taught me, and I had an older brother that was Superman in human form. But my dad, I would see him 1 year, he'd be gone 2. I would see him the next year, not hear him for 5. Next thing you know, my 12th birthday, I'll hear from him, get a call, you feel me? Next thing you know, he pops up the next weekend. He was here and there, but he didn't really raise us. So I definitely see the difference in having been raised by a woman as a man. I also know from hearing my mother's stories of how she was raised. My mom's from Camden. I was born and raised in Camden.
South Jersey.
Yeah, and she would tell me about her experiences as a woman raised by a woman. She was one of 8 and the 5th girl. The last was a boy. So she was, and my grandmother was a single mom too. So hearing from her experiences as how she raised her daughters versus how she raised my uncle, we brought this up when we were talking about preparing for this episode. You know what I mean? Women raise their daughters and love their sons. I learned that from hearing what my mom taught me. She talked about how he had little to no consequence, but she taught each and every individual one of her daughters, my aunts, how to work, how to balance money, how to get properties, how to run businesses. To this day, even the family I'm not so fond of, every one of my aunts, including my mom, know how to get to a bag. And my uncle, obviously, he learned those life skills as a black man, you feel me? But he didn't get that being raised by a mother. He got that being raised through life, you feel me? So I definitely do think that there is a bias that women are far more nurturing, and men can't do that or are to a degree incapable of that. And I think that's absolute BS, especially me being an educator, the son of an educator, and learning how to nurture children, you feel me, in my jobs and internships and things of the sort. I have come to learn how to nurture a child. It's part of my job. It's part of my profession. So I personally think, now granted, my situation and circumstances are a little different than everybody else's. So sometimes there are men who are naturally not capable or haven't been taught how to nurture, you feel me? But I don't think that means that we're incapable. And maybe even if women do have a natural inclination that men don't, that doesn't mean that we're not capable of learning that. Just like women, when they, I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. Just like,
I think that perspective. No, keep going, because I think that perspective you need to get out, because I think both sides you can find some type of balance.
I think that
It can be though.
yes, women do have a natural inclination to it that some men are not capable of. But the first thing that I want to acknowledge is that our generation, I would say our generation, are emotionally more mature than our predecessors.
And I was gonna say,
And then,
I think it's some sense.
I'm sorry. Oh, I got a
for the
lot.
foundation part, everyone's intuitive, right? So I feel as though like the nurturing aspect is just like a role instead of like an actual character trait. So like everyone has that ability, and I feel like people just tend to be like, oh, girls are more nurturing because we carry them in the womb, which I understand because we have like a whole 9 months bond, and then like the baby comes out and it's like, oh, you're just now creating that bond. So you feel like but at the same time you do
There's
develop.
also the thing when you have the baby though, like it's whoever you're having skin to skin contact that
That's true.
baby actually bonds with. So it can be if the mom gave birth but the dad is more around and he's the one taking care of the
That's true,
kid,
too.
then the baby is going to bond
That's
with the
true,
father initially just as a premature
Yep.
child.
Because some moms be mad that the baby don't like them.
I will say this.
Yeah.
I will say this. There's one point, T, that you made where you said that everybody has the ability. I'm going to disagree with you. I think that, yes, a lot of people have the opportunity to have children, you feel me? But I don't think that everybody should have a child. There are certain people in this world who would be abusive or incapable of being selfless to the point where they would put their child's needs first. There are people who are just mentally incapable. I think that not everybody should have a child just because everybody can have a child. So by equity, everybody who should not, and that's included in that possible shouldn't have kids, would be women too.
No,
There are some men who are in there who shouldn't, but there might be a lot of women too.
you're right.
I see exactly
You're
what you
not
mean
wrong.
because I just think that's so unfair where some women who really, really want kids but can't have them for certain circumstances. Like they just can't have them at all. Constant miscarriages. Maybe something's wrong with their age.
That's true.
But the people who don't deserve children at all are the ones who have the children.
And it happens so often. And then the kids are the ones who different episode. My bad, I was about to go on a tangent.
But actually, I want to say something what Tiana said, where you was like, a lot of moms are mad when the kid doesn't like the mom because kinship. When my sister was born, she's actually 8 years younger than me, but 10 years younger than my older brother. But I was the one who took care of her from the time she was born, even to now. So it kind of bothers me where she'll listen to him, but she won't listen to me. I'll tell her to do something, my brother will come, he'll say, don't do that, don't listen to her. And now I'm the bad guy. Because I'm like, don't do that. Because obviously I'm trying to teach her something. She's at this age where she has to learn certain stuff. When I was her age, I was doing a whole lot more than what she was doing. And that's what I'm trying to teach her, and he's not seeing that. All he sees it as either me being mean. So again, black women are mean when they're not. I'm just trying to teach her something, because you're not going to do it. You're not going to want to teach her how to cook. You're not going to want to teach her how to clean. You're not going to want how to teach her to iron her clothes. I'm the one doing that, not you.
Right.
So it's kind of annoying.
If I may.
I have a question.
You got
So, what do you guys think about? Well, matter of fact, I'm a girl that was raised by a girl. I don't know, like there are no males here that were raised by a man, so I can't even sit here and be like, so what's that comparison? But
I know.
what would you believe that comparison to be? Because I feel like mothers and their daughters, they sometimes have friction, like.
Wait, if she's asking for a man's perspective,
I want to
respond.
They can speak afterwards,
because it's real.
Because I got something to ask.
So I would say this, right? Growing up with a single mom, me and her we clashed. We did clash, and we clashed just cause she couldn't. Like she did the best job. But I just feel like we clashed because I wanted a male perspective on many different things that I was going through. And if she would say, it's like, you know, I'm not a man, I can't teach you everything, but I'm going to teach you how the way to live, survive, which she did, but she can't teach me things to go through as a man. So then, you know, I think like, oh, I wish I had my pop, but then when you hear about your own ancestors, right, let's go back to that, your own ancestors, who's your dad and your mom, and you hear about what they do, you like, damn. Genetics, the apple don't fall from the tree.
Fact.
You know what I'm saying? Like just the genetics and the way we act. So, yeah, understanding that, but from a mom perspective, they're going to nurture you, which is going to make you treat women better. I hope so, right? End of the day, you treat your mom like what the earth, you're going to treat every woman the same. So, you know, I just feel that. You believe that?
Yeah.
Let me rock.
But I'm about to get to you from the ball. Long story short, though, I just feel like as you know, being raised by a mom, I got a lot of nurture. I understand how to respect women, you know, more, and don't even disrespect them any type of way. But sometimes you want that dad perspective or a father figure to be like, yeah, chill, chill. You feel me? You doing too much, this and that. But, you know, I didn't. You know what I'm saying? So that's the perspective on double standards for me, man. But go ahead, Brody.
All right, so I just want to go over something real quick. Every boy at between the ages of 13 and 16 is going to buck up his chest.
Every adolescent. Yeah.
Yes, women, from what I've been told, go through a similar circumstance with their mother. Yeah. But I know for a fact, being a boy, being a man, having an older brother who I saw go through it too, there's a certain point where a young boy is going to buck up his chest. And I understand from having been in that circumstance that it's a different response when you buck up your chest against a woman versus when you buck up your chest against a man. See, and Chanel, that goes back to what you were saying about how she's not listening to you, but he'll listen to her. I promise you, if it were a similar circumstance where he gave her the same message that you were giving and he reinforced what you said, she might have a little different understanding. Because from what I was taught, the man is the authority figure. The woman is the nurturer. So when I bucked up my chest against my mom, I didn't listen as much. You feel me? I was a young lion who needed another male lion to, excuse my French, whoop my ass to let me know that he was in charge. Because men will start to smell themselves when they start to get. I think it's part of every boy's journey into manhood. They start to smell themselves a little bit. They start to beat their chest. And it's a different response when he beats his chest against another man, and that man reminds him to respect authority, to respect yourself, and to not disrespect my house and be grateful that I'm allowing you to live. That kind of response from a male figure as a boy is different than what you'll get from a woman. She'll say the same thing, but it won't hit a certain way that I think every boy needs.
I got something on that though. The reason why a male's voice hits harder than a female's voice is because scientifically speaking, male voices are going to be heard more than a woman's voices. Did you know that literally there's a 70 or a 75% chance that when a woman is speaking, a guy is more than likely to interrupt her. And that's just a fact. Like even now as we're speaking, that's a legit.
No, but I mean like from my person, from coming from where I'm from,
okay.
It's different for me because like my mom, she will, like we were saying earlier, she let him do whatever she wanted. Mm-hmm. So don't get upset when I get upset. Cause I'm telling you about yourself and how you act towards me and how you act towards your son.
Okay.
It's like mothers need to hear it, but they don't want to.
Right.
And I guess that's also because he is the firstborn, and I'm the firstborn daughter. But
I think that's
do not use that as an excuse,
Right.
because I don't like that.
To
And
enable.
and I feel that's another thing with mothers, like they have a lot of emotional baggage from trying to be the father and the mother figure.
If they need
But
to
they
be,
can't.
because not
If
all
they
of them
need
do.
to be.
Because there are certain women who might have the father of the household who still enable their sons.
That's true. That's if they need to be. You're absolutely right.
That's
But in my household, I know for a fact I treat it differently. When she gets upset at me. It could be nothing towards me. I'm like, so why don't you get upset towards your son? It's because it's basically
The
woman
expectations
to
are different.
woman. She feels as though she
The
can't
expectations are different.
go to him for certain things
And she's
because
also the firstborn. That's
he's not
another
going to
thing.
know. That's another thing. He's not going to know what to say to that because he's not a woman.
Right.
So even like my dad was the youngest child. Even being the youngest child, he still got what he wanted to be. He's one boy out of 6, and he's the youngest. So I feel that's just as bad being the firstborn son.
Right.
Yeah, it depends. And one last thing that I do want to say, I think one thing that we haven't touched on is men raising daughters. Because I think you can flip the script with men enabling their daughters and being rough on their sons, being hard on their sons. You feel me? From the stories that I've been told from my friends, you know, who have had some of the circumstances to that. You know, I didn't have that, but I do know and have heard that certain men have been harder on their sons and then let their girls be their little princesses. I know when I have a baby girl, she's gonna be spoiled. So
I've seen that,
But
but
the
I've
reason
also
why-
seen an instance where the dad is more buddy with the son because it's
right.
easier to establish a
Ooh.
relationship,
Right.
and then they're a little bit more protective and they
The
keep
daughter.
the daughter
Yeah,
strong
and then
in,
very
like
restrictive.
helicopter.
Yeah.
The thing is, like, you got one, like, end of the day, the male might be harder on his son, though.
Yeah.
It's because, though, he knows that he made mistakes. He don't want his son doing the same thing.
Yes, but can I say
Because, wait, come on. Especially sports. Especially sports. That's not, like, especially, like,
Wait, girls, I don't want my
yo, especially, man. But,
She playing you, son.
go ahead.
So another thing, when I lived with my dad half of my junior year of high school, because he didn't raise me my whole life, he was completely different raising me in his household during my junior year than he was when I was just seeing him randomly throughout the year, 100%. He used to try and crack down and I was like, you're not.
Don't do that.
You're not, because my mother doesn't even do that, so you're not going to do it now. Another thing,
Dad, you hear that drop?
Khalil was right about boys wanting to protect, well, fathers wanting to protect their daughters. That's 100% because when there's like a new boy in the family, he starts to become like really buddy, oh, let's go outside, play football, da-da-da-da. But I'm like, but you don't even do that with your own sister. You try to act
Girls
like,
don't play sports.
no, it's not even that. I think he always wanted a younger brother. But he ended up getting two sisters.
That's another thing that
On
happens.
top of that, so he was the
100%.
only boy in a female household. So when he sees another young boy, he feels delighted.
My thing about that with dads being overprotective, my brothers got to date whenever they wanted. I brought one guy home. He was he was like, pull out his ID and took a picture. I said, hold up, my bad. I said, how?
It's getting real.
You have like 5 different girls. I bring home one, and all of a sudden you got robbed. Yo, okay.
Yo.
It's the shaking the table for me.
My bad. I'm like,
Yo, wait, time out. Did you let it out? Hey, you let it out. You feel good now?
yeah, I feel better. Thanks.
All right, you feel me? All right, but man, it was some good conversation today. Speaking on double standards, I think we talked about a lot from the mother perspective, but also the dad perspective. You can see that it's different challenges to deal with. It's different factors that come to play, and it's hard out here for a pimp, man. You know what I'm saying? Nah. But all jokes aside, though, we appreciate y'all tuning in to the Hidden Keys podcast. It's your boy Juan.
A little creative.
Hey, yo, it's me. T.
That was cute. I'm Shan. It was good.
And I'm Chanel.
Yeah, so follow us at Hidden Keys.
PDCST.
Yeah, HKPDST. Also, follow me at Wandisimo, JUANDISCIMO. You feel me? Follow us, man. But nah, but yo, stay safe,
I
be
did the
blessed.
same thing.
Right, you know the vibes.
This was dope. Wait, should we do like okay, we good.
It's a video.